Hello, I am Başak Tas Özdemir. I am landscape architect with over 25 years of experiences in Turkey in this field. I would like to share my professional experience with you through the concept of empathy. Let me convey the concept of empathy through the parties we work with. 1. Employer and investor. 2. End user, private customer or public user. 3. Or partners in the project process such as architects, engineering groups. Before moving on to these topics, I'd initially like to discuss some of the problems we face and share our work experiences in Turkey within a broad framework. In our profession, we are confronted with two major threats. The first and the most important one is the climate crisis and drought. Another equally crucial threat is the earthquake. As you know, there is a global climate change happening worldwide, leading to a water crisis in our country as well, especially in the Mediterranean region of the country. However, our country is not only in a geography that has a coast to the Mediterranean. In addition to Mediterranean, we have a climate zone with higher precipitation rates such as the Black Sea and 4 other climate zones with different rates depending on the season. These climate variations significantly influence our approach to work. Clients may have to see the plant diversity of the Black Sea in the Mediterranean zone. These demands are very challenging for us professionally because trying to imitate a Black Sea climate for the flora results in excess need of water. Even if decision makers draw attention to this issue and warn about it, it seems that it will take more time for arid landscape design to be generally accepted, liked, and preferred in societies like ours that learn by living. We emphasize a scientific approach in responding to such demands. When the demand comes directly from the customer, we find it essential to train them, especially on potential issues that may arise and guide them in the decision-making process. Establishing serious empathy with both the employer and the end user is crucial in this design throughout the process of project production. Especially in large metropolises like Istanbul, water scarcity has increased. Consequently, some paradigms need to change. The government is conducting a series of awareness-raising campaigns to inform and educate the public, and municipalities are restricting water supplies in landscape areas. They are obliging us to store and use rainwater for irrigation. However, rainfall in some regions is clearly not sufficient to water lawns, which are high demand from customers. Regulations and laws have started to change, but there is still time for adaptation. Although a good number of steps have been taken to deal with this serious problem, such as conscious water consumption and more efficient usage of rainfall, it seems that it will take more time for widespread recognition of the problem and application of the new regulations. As landscape architects, we are careful about both creating regulations and leading this change. There is a significant difference between the perspective of a private customer compared to an investing customer. The private customer can be more persistent. Turkey is a country with diverse cultural habits in daily life and various regional traditions and customs. In a cosmopolitan city like Istanbul, this diversity is both exciting and challenging. For example, while some of the clients may want a simple design for relaxation and aesthetics, others may request a garden that is just edible. Some may want to engage in agriculture in their garden, while others prefer a garden that is purely ornamental and prefer just to entertain guests in it. Some may desire a garden that remains evergreen with no leaf shedding, while others may ask for a potpourri of all kinds of plant species. We also need to mention that high-end clients tend to have more sophisticated demands, such as the use of art and technology combined with nature in harmony. Apart from my experience in this field, other driving factors of our designs are scientific facts, available data, and the latest trends and styles. The second biggest threat to our profession is the never-ending risk of earthquakes. Due to its location and geophysical aspects, Turkey and Istanbul are always under threat when it comes to earthquakes. Just last year, we had a very devastating earthquake in southern Turkey. A similar earthquake is expected in Istanbul soon. Therefore, satellite cities are established on the periphery of the city, and the population of the city is encouraged to move there. After the 1999 earthquake near Istanbul, steps were taken in this direction. In these projects, Turkish landscape architects designed squares, large city parks, and roads on an urban scale. At this point, empathy with the public authorities became essential in this context. In addition, I want to point out that the population in Turkey is rapidly aging. Our population growth rate is not as rapid as it used to be. With the increase in the elderly population, it is crucial for us to consider their living standards, to establish new standards for the elderly and disabled, and to empathize with the problems experienced by this age group. The topography of Istanbul is quite rugged, full of deep slopes, steep hills, and undulating terrain. The waterway passing through the middle of Istanbul and the steep hills around it highlights the slope problems in landscape areas. In this regard, extensive communication and cooperation with engineering groups is of utmost importance in order to produce solutions. At this point, we also need to consider the comfort of end users, especially the elderly and children. All these are permanent problems in our profession. Landscape architecture is a new profession in Turkey. It can take time for our project partners to adapt to our presence and coordinate with us. So we need to educate them, and they also need to be open with us. If we go back to the beginning, I would like to talk a little bit more about the investor as the first element we need to empathize with. The most important thing for the investor is to add value to his investment, not just in profit, but also in prestige and continuity. Landscape architecture, which was not well understood in the past, has become the most important factor for investors since the 2000s. As a landscape architect, I have been providing professional services in the creation of the site plans, layouts, and location of buildings in the last 7-8 years. The main element here is trust in the relationship with the customer. Trust also ensures the continuity of the relationship. In order to understand exactly what they really want, we conduct detailed face-to-face meetings with all teams, receiving individual requests from each unit: employer, sales team, production team, architects. Each unit may have different requests, and we evaluate these requests along with the results from our past experiences. We explain to them what is and is not feasible. Our main business is serving investor clients, so we have become professionals in this regard. Our project durations can take an average of 1 to 3 years. changes can be made to the project for various reasons during this time. However, since we progress through multiple alternatives in the design phase, we do not experience difficulty adapting to changes. For example, a building planned to be a hotel in Büyükyalı project was converted into a private headquarters. Or in our Vadi İstanbul project, the hospital section was transformed into office blocks. We did not struggle to complete the projects due to the flexibility of our designs. Thanks to the foresight we gained and precautionary steps we envisioned in the initial meetings. And at each stage, we clearly explain what we do and why we do it. Modeling and rendering works gain importance in such projects. Using the right technology has also facilitated the decision-making process a great deal. We provide our customers with the opportunity to navigate through the landscape model using VR technology, which enables them to see and experience the real dimensions of the project, resulting in them a more rational and healthier decision based on a more realistic view of the project rather than their imagination. This also helps customers refrain themselves from requesting unnecessary or unrealistic changes to the project. When it comes to empathizing with the end user can be the customer of the investor, the public of the owner of a private villa or an office. It is not possible to start a project without empathy. We analyze the idea in their minds by asking open-ended questions, special requests based on how, when, how and how long the area will be used, including differences in local and cultural usage, are received and taken into consideration. Then we create the design by combining these with geographical facts and according to their budget. In addition to the work we do in Turkey, especially in Istanbul, we also provide services to neighboring countries. It is very pleasant to work with different climates and cultures. The fact that Turkey is a bridge between the Middle East and the Mediterranean and the Balkans makes it easier for us to do business with countries that are culturally and geographically periphery. We have the opportunity to work with these different cultures. While one of the customers asks for a flamboyant, flashy, and peaceful garden that is completely oriented towards peace in French or English style, another may ask us to design a garden with there is no grass but full of beneficial plants which serve a purpose or can be used in daily life. In a flamboyant garden, we make a design that can provide mobility in the future, considering possible changes in the upcoming years. We add functional elements that are not visible at that time. For example, we locate vegetable and fruit gardens hidden behind the formal design. In addition, rainwater could be collected underneath the garden. In the garden, which is to be used as edible, we can create the garden as it is just for aesthetics, using edible gardens as hedges or fruit trees as solitaires. For example, the fruit, flower, leaves of all plants in this garden could be also evaluated and we can achieve nice results as a composition. Interdisciplinary empathy. We work with many professionals such as engineers, architects, sales and marketing teams, manufacturers, installers. When it comes to designing roof gardens or gardens above the car park level of the building, collaboration with the architects and developing a joint design is crucially important. While working with architectural teams, we advise them not to push landscape into background and keep it up to date. Otherwise, if we need to design a rooftop garden after the architectural design is completed, our job becomes much more difficult. In an appropriately planned landscape area, neither the load of the trees the load of the playground equipment, nor the other elements may have been taken into account in static calculations, or when we want to add a pool in addition to an area where the water element was not initially planned, the mechanical calculations may change. In this case, all the work of the teams becomes useless. The same goes for electricity. To prevent material losses and save time, it is essential for us to be involved in the project from the very beginning. If not, we train, inform, and guide our partners about these issues that they might face in future projects. I would like to show some examples of our projects. You can see the 3D renderings and application photos of our project named Fifth Levant here. Now here you can see the application photos of Vadi İstanbul and 5. Levent projects. Our landscape design for the purpose of creating a lakeside renovation and recreation area abroad. Design works of a park project abroad. Our landscape design, which looks like an oasis in the middle of a residential complex of skyscrapers. Design from our project of a large pavilion abroad. Or design of a chalet landscape project abroad. Or landscape design in the common areas of the plant industrial area. Or landscape design of a residential complex abroad. Landscape design of a housing project that is currently being constructed. Landscape design of the housing project located in Beşiktaş, one of the oldest districts of Istanbul. Landscape design of a residential project in Göktürk, one of the new favorite districts of Istanbul. Landscape design of the public garden in Kırıkkale province in Anatolia. Landscape design of the public garden in Samsun, one of the most important cities in Turkey. I would like to conclude my presentation with some of our project approach. Dynamic garden design, sequential planting. Three different design languages in the same area for a confused customer. Model works, rendering, and animation works. The construction process and field photos of Büyükyalı and Beyoğlu projects. As the usage of the end user, I would like to show you the video of our Büyükyalı project. Thought the first rule of design is empathy. Good listening, observing, and understanding is essential for analysis. Our first questions must be where, why, when, from who, and how. Thank you.